Hello everyone. Today we will be talking about elasticity of demand and asking the question why consumers react differently and how severely they react to price changes. So, elasticity of demand is a measure of how responsive consumers are to a price change in a market. So this is proportional. So the formula would be the percentage change in quantity demanded to the percentage change in price, and it would show how sensitive buyers are to price movements. If something is elastic, that means the resulting number is above 1, and so this would mean they have a large response to price changes. If something is inelastic, it'd be a smaller response, and if something is unit elastic, it'd be a proportional percentage change to price. So what would determine elasticity? Well, we have the availability of close substitutes. So that would be, say, an orange is quite expensive and I don't feel like buying it, and I could just get an apple that's cheaper. That would be a close substitute in which the orange market is elastic. We also have necessity versus luxury. If something is necessary for my well-being, then I might be more hesitant to forgo buying that item, even if it is more expensive. However, if something is a luxury, it would be easier to make the decision not to buy it, you know? There's also market diversity and our definition of it. So if we have the entire produce aisle in a grocery store and we notice that the orange again is too expensive, we could just move on and choose an apple or a grape, right? And if the apple and grape is less expensive, it would benefit us. However, if we narrow our market down only to the orange, then if the price changes, I might be more obligated to not buy that orange. In effect, I'd be more elastic. Also, our share of income spent on the good. Say an orange costs 50 cents and it doubles in price to $1. I'd still be all right with buying it since it's only, I don't know, a millionth of what my income is. And if it's a car that doubles in price from maybe 10,000 to 20,000, it'd be a way larger share of my income spent on the good. So that would increase elasticity. Also, time horizon, people adapt over time. Say that car, which was 10,000, increased to 20,000. In the short run, I might not be willing to buy that car, but maybe in a couple years, when I've gotten a raise, it would be in my market. So in the short run, people aren't so elastic, but in the long run, people would be elastic. An example of this would be streaming services. They are a highly elastic they're a highly elastic market. There's many reasons. They're a luxury, so you could just forgo them, and they have substitutes, right? Like if you don't want to pay the Netflix price, you can move over to Disney. If Disney raises their prices, move over to Netflix. Another example, which would be inelastic demand, is insulin. People need insulin. Even if you do raise prices, I think I would still be willing to pay insulin to save my life. So it's really hard to reduce usage, and it's an inelastic product. So how this affects businesses is in their revenue. If something is elastic and we increase the price, we know there'll be a dramatic decrease in quantity demanded, more proportionally than the price. And so this would reduce revenue. If it's in an inelastic product, like insulin, if you increase the price, a lot of people will be less willing to not buy that product, right? So this would mean you could increase revenue. So yeah, this would help businesses or firms set optimal prices for revenue, and it would predict revenue effects. This would be important for tax and policy decisions. And basically, our key takeaways are it being elastic means it is sensitive to price changes, and this could be driven by substitutes, necessities or luxuries, the share of our income paid on the product, and the amount of time in between the price change and the demand. So streaming services, elastic, you can switch it out. You don't need them. And insulin is inelastic. You need insulin. If the price increases, you still have to buy it, or else you may die. So, yeah. Thank you for listening to my talk. Have a good night.